the judiciary is not independent, hence this is not a fair trial. You'll have to build a very strong case that how do you break that assumption that the judiciary is independent even during martial law period, and if it's not, what's the evidence? And if it's not, then what is the consequence? But that's a big assumption you're challenging. You're saying that in any deviation period, the judiciary is not independent. That's a big assumption to touch.
I will try to persuade your lordship on this point.
Can I just, before we get into... we're not...
Later on, other things will follow.
Okay, now I think my brethren have raised some very important questions, and you also realize the significance of these questions. We need not tell very experienced counsel standing before us. There are undoubtedly constitutional questions involved, and we need two kinds of assistance. One on the constitutional plane, and the other, if you overcome the constitutional plane questions or questions of maintainability, then expertise on the criminal side. So I've noted that there were a number of constitutional experts who are no longer in this world. So I think we need to maybe appoint a few experts on both the matters as constitutional as well as the criminal. We'll first hear the constitutional experts, and then, depending on where we stand, proceed to hear the criminal experts. So I observe a notable constitutional lawyer, Mr. Raza Rabbani. Mr. Raza Rabbani, would you be willing to be appointed as amicus? Ji? But we want thorough, we'll extract every ounce from you. It may not be a pleasure by the end of it.
But MS Query should be independent, not...
Ek second. Sorry, why do you keep interrupting?
My case.
But we are appointing an amicus. You have an objection to amicus?
That's what he has raised.
Ji?
I hope
independent होना चाहिए. He's asking that
It should be independent.
If you can propose an amicus, we'll hear your suggestion. Do you have a suggestion on constitutional thing? Mr. Kasuri, now we are asking you. Do you have a named constitutional expert?
asking this question at random. Let me think it over.
Think. Okay, by all means think. Okay, now I don't know. We would also like, and the expertise on this bench. My colleague on the right is, of course, expert in criminal law, but it may help us to have another former judge. I don't know if he can. Does anyone have an objection to Justice Manzoor Malik being appointed as amicus? We leave it up to his lordship whether he wants to submit something in writing, whether he's agreeable to it or not. If anyone has any objection, please let us know, because I think there is considerable criminal expertise in the person of Justice Manzoor Malik. Would anyone have any objection?
I think it's a good choice, my lord.
Ji?
It's a good choice.
I don't have any objection.
It's a good choice.
If anyone else you can propose, the other day there was a very competent lawyer from Lahore, Mr. Salman Safdar. Do you have any objection? The two names have been given by my colleagues as well. Mr. Javed Khan, who was a former Attorney General, and Khwaja Haris, who was then the Advocate General, who has been in this case as well. So, thoughts on that? Anyone has any objections, so we can then have these names?
I think we should get some legal academic also. I think it's high time that we get some academics.
We may add to them when we're later on, if some colleague comes up with another name. So, but if anyone has any objection to these names, subject to their agreeing.
But if your lordship would give, like Mr. Kasuri has sought some time, if your lordship will give me a few days, I'll think about it and give the name to your
Do you
lordship.
have any objection to these names? You
Sir,
can
Sir,
supplement
Khalid
them.
Javed Khan is a good lawyer, but I've got my doubts his practice on the criminal side.
No, constitutional.
Constitution is okay.
Constitution.
Like I said-
Constitution is okay.
Like I said, there are two aspects to the case.
Constitution is okay. Good.
So, like you know, Mr. Raza Rabbani, I hope he doesn't mind my saying so. I will consider him a constitutional expert, maybe not a criminal expert. And there is Mr. Shahadat Awan here, who I will not consider. It will be the other way around.
Sir, Khalid Javed Khan is okay as far as the Constitution is concerned.
There are a couple of other names also. Mr. Salahuddin Ahmed could be one of them. Mr. Faisal Siddiqui could be another. There could be the son of Justice Fakhruddin Ibrahim, Mr. Zahid Ibrahim.
Zahid Ibrahim.
So we want amicus also by, as far as possible, by consent. So let it not be that we have a particular persuasion. We don't want that to come across at all.
Sir,
But we don't want long-winded speeches to be made at the bar. We would expect the amicus to submit things in writing. We will formulate what we think needs consideration so they can think over them, submit them in writing, and we can call upon them if required or if they want to add something to it. But we must have something in writing from them.
So right now I can give consent to two names. One is Mr. Justice Retired Manzoor Malik and Mr. Khalid Javed Khan. As far as the other names are concerned, I'll have to consult my client, my lord.
Salahuddin and.
The client is sitting very far away.
Both will assist properly.
No. We don't want to. You please address us. Ji.
सर ये दो नाम तो ठीक है
ठीक है तो ऐसे भी नाम होना चाहिए जो आपको नहीं पसंद है
वो आपकी मर्जी है That I leave it to your lordship then.
otherwise the complainant may object
आप वैसे ऐसे नाम देख लें जिससे आप इस रेफरेंस से फ्यूचर में कुछ अचीव करना चाहते हैं बाकी प्राइम मिनिस्टर्स को सेव करना चाहते हैं ऐसे नाम हो ताकि हमें गाइड करें
my learned brother has mentioned the name of an academic, Mr. Yasir Qureshi.
He's at Oxford, he teaches constitutions.
No objection, my lord.
So we won't ask him to come. We can request for
Send an
thing
amicus
through
brief.
email. Huh?
He can send an
Academic
amicus
is
brief.
important to have an academic also. It's very important.
I need to bring that culture into our...
Flair, it will bring a flair to it.
By the way, Kazuri Sahib, if you want to submit a name, you okay. And if anyone else, you can give us a name. Who? Yes, fine. तो अच्छा एक तो ये हो गई बात. The other thing is that there are other family members of the late Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. They may want to engage counsel. We'll leave it open for them if they want to do so or not.
My lord, only his, yes, there are, but as far as these...
Because primarily we're concerned with
His thought-
the decision affecting their lives as well.
We will ask them and let you know, my lord.
We will just pass an order and that order becomes public so they can find out themselves.
Okay.
But we won't hear any person in person, we will only hear through counsel because these are all highly technical, legal, constitutional issues before us. So we won't grant any personal hearing. The only exception is, and we would request if Mr. Kasuri Sahib wants to engage a counsel, he can do so. He can represent himself. He's a senior counsel as it is.